and today we've got a reading for you about somebody who is feeling pretty clever, feeling like they've been able to respond with a pretty great comeback. They've defended themselves in an argument, but I feel like they do so without the benefit of like actually having concrete evidence, or they don't realize how it looks what they're saying. So maybe they're coming across as a hypocrite, maybe they're coming across as combative or ignoring the main point, but I feel like it's doing them a disservice or making them look like they can't really be taken seriously. So let's call in spirit with a little bit of wind chime time. I hope you're having a good day so far. If you're interested in a personal reading, I would love to do one for you. My email address is wickedwandstarot@gmail.com. It's in the description box for you, as is more information on how to become a member. Thank you to the current members. Hello, Stephen. Hello, Key Controller. Hello, Daniel. Hello, Tucci. What's up, Illuminati? Hello, Laura. All right, let's dive in. I think we need some Kipper to clarify what this person is responding to. What else do we have? Official person, adjudication. So someone who has some level of control or power or status within the community, being asked some questions they don't seem to really be a fan of. Concern and family room. It's in the reverse though. This is like saying it doesn't matter to me if you are a fan of mine or if you dislike me, because we're not friends. Like, I expected you not to like me. But I think this official person is hoping that they'll be able to weather this storm despite not being very supported, or despite maybe knowing that this decision maker doesn't really like them. So it could be like the owner of the company, matriarch, patriarch of the family. This is somebody who knows that there are people who don't really like them, and it's like, whatever. It's just how it is. And so we have someone who is gifted something, and it looks like it wasn't a very good choice to move forward with that. So maybe there is some gift that had a little bit of like ulterior motive, right? Hello, Dana. How you doing? Hello, Miss Fafa. Hello, Andy Dufresne. What's going on? All right, I believe this is the Soul Cat Tarot. We've got the Three of Pentacles, the Hanged Cat, and the Page of Pentacles in the reverse. All right, so this is probably about business. So there could be like a lawsuit involved here. There could be some concerns over intellectual property. There could be some frustrations over things that need to be paid. People who have maybe shirked their responsibility. Hello, Selena. How are you doing? Ace of Wands in the reverse. Knight of Cups and the Two of Pentacles. I love how this cat's ears are like flanked by feathers. And this Two of Pentacles cat looks really like peaceful. It looks to me like we have somebody who is made an offer or was made an offer, and it was an offer they should not have accepted, but they agreed to it. So perhaps this is like kind of a shady character. Perhaps this is someone who doesn't have a very strong reputation, or maybe their reputation precedes them and it's scary. But we have somebody who felt like what they were doing was the right thing. Hermit in the reverse, even though others disagree. So this official person, they did something against everybody's wishes, or they, I don't know, did things their own way. Seven of Swords in the reverse. They're being asked questions about this, and it looks like the invitation here is, all right, tell us what really happened then. You want to justify why you did what you did, then here's your space to do so. Eight of Swords, Seven of Cups, and Death. They don't want to take this opportunity to be honest. This is someone who's like maybe refusing to answer questions, maybe put all of the receipts through a shredder. They like their illusions. They want to keep things a little bit murky, right? Hello, Abdul. How are you doing? Hello, Noe. No, it's not. Hello, Billy. I hope things improve for you. Hello, Pedri. How are we doing? All right, let's get a different tarot deck. We'll go with the Bianco Nero. Merkham, you might want to check if headphones help you. What else do we have? Ace of Pentacles in the reverse. King of Pentacles. Okay, so I feel like this is a financial offer or a partnership, maybe even selling business or hiring someone that they shouldn't have, but there's been losses or struggles that should have been managed in a better way, and this person seems to be pretty prickly. They're not willing to talk about their performance. They're not willing to talk about the impact to the bottom line or the business or the community. Whatever it is, they seem to be pretty disingenuous. There's an offer here or a partnership that is hidden. So maybe there is motivations or a reason for their actions that they don't want to be honest about because they know it looks bad, or they know it's the competition, or they know it breaks an NDA or even goes against the law. So they're kind of skirting the issue or intentionally being vague. Hello, Tiana. How are you doing? Hello, Misa. How are you doing? We got the Knight of Wands and Three of Swords in the reverse. Someone is showing up on the scene to report what's really going on. So maybe they felt like they were able to keep this a secret. Maybe they felt like no one would know what, you know, deals they'd made or who they've been talking to. But there is absolutely someone who has uncovered a pretty juicy morsel, a pretty hefty scandal. Knight of Pentacles in the reverse, the Hermit, King of Swords. So you did this thing even though you knew it would be counterintuitive. It's like, go work at my competition and undermine them, that kind of thing. Yeah, I think things got a little bit questionable in terms of what the goals were and what they were willing to do in order to achieve those goals. Hello, Jojo. You don't have to turn if you're already there. I know. Scandals are always interesting, right? I think this is somebody who felt like they could do some sort of agreement with someone without anybody finding out. Maybe intentionally trying to harm someone's business or even their reputation, but expecting that nobody would ever actually be able to figure it out. I think they were wrong about that. All right. This is the Gilded Reverie. What else do we have? Thank you for liking and subscribing. Thank you for the reminder, Laura. The Gilded Reverie, we've got the magnifying glass. Yeah. Somebody who is able to uncover as if by chance, they are able to find whatever this secret is that has been hidden. This King of Pentacles didn't want anybody to know what was really going on. They did not do enough to keep this secret. They're very invested in their reputations, very important to them that it seem as though they have a very peaceful, like tranquil existence, nothing to see here, keep it moving, that kind of thing. But now it's like loudspeakers are proclaiming everything this person's been up to. So we have the home, number 4, and the whip. Okay. Well, so I do feel like there's something being released or announced or talked about with regards to this person's preferences, regards to this person's extracurriculars, garden tool behaviors, what you do on your free time, what you do in that dungeon. Look, I think there's something that is a little bit out of line with the reputation this person is trying to uphold. And this King of Pentacles is struggling because they don't really know what they can do to address this. They get maybe a little bit too defensive, or there's really nothing they can say because the evidence is evidence. Now, if you know my channel, you know that whenever the whip comes out, I have to tell a joke. The whip. No, not the whip. The whip. No, please, not the whip. The whip. No, please, anything but the whip. Anything? The whip. Thanks to my OGs who love that. Hello, Rachel, you have epic timing. Oh, Tiana, I'm so glad you were here for it too. All right, so we've got the ship, rhymes with whip, and the wishing well. This is a desire that someone felt they needed to keep secret. I can't let people know about this. This is just like my private life or whatever. But it's not going to be so private. Now there's going to be people who actually know what's going on or have an idea, right, of what's going on. Which one did I just do? Okay. So this is Cat's Eye Tarot. Let's see what else we've got. Hey Joe, how are you doing? What else do we have? Emperor in the reverse. A loss of control. Knight of Pentacles. Queen of Wands in the reverse. I think this is somebody who has tried to maintain a particular reputation about themselves. This could be someone who is trying to make everyone see them as very focused on their work, or maybe they're out here trying to be like, here's my family, isn't it adorable? But they don't want anybody to know this about them. Queen of Wands in the reverse. This is a nighttime activity. It doesn't really have to be nighttime, but you know what I'm saying, right? Rhymes with ink. Hello, CJ. How are you doing? Did I say hello to Carrie? Hello. Hello, Universal. What's up? So what they didn't really want anybody to know, it's out there. Okay, I think there's actually maybe picture or video. Not for everyone, but this person who has a little bit of a holier than thou energy, somebody who might be a bit proud, they have some private information that is being shared. Perhaps because there's an angry ex. Hello, Rawiri. How are you doing? Happy birthday, Key. I wish you much abundance and happiness. Oh, okay, so we have the Fool, Death, Seven of Swords, and Eight of Wands. Yeah. There's something that I want to try, but I can't try it with the person that I have access to or that I'm dating. So there could be like a cheating scandal. There could just be a, oh, we didn't know you was into that. But their first response is to say, that's not true. That's not true. They get a little overly defensive. And if there's one thing that I believe, it's if you say something about a person and they wildly react, there's a pretty good chance that you're right about things. You might offend somebody, and that might explain why they get a little uppity. But I feel like this is somebody who they have to explain themselves. They're caught red-handed, or they have some video or photographic proof of what they've been doing. And I feel like this comes out after they lie about it. It's like there's a little tease, like here's what we think has been happening, or here's what somebody's reporting. And then they come out, this official person, the King of Pentacles, they're like, I would never. That's ridiculous. How could you believe that? And then like the next day, there's like video or photographic proof. Oops. Yeah, that's a difficult one. Yeah, I guess I lied, is what they're going to have to say, right? King of Cups. I don't think I can say what I just heard, which is unfortunate because it was hilarious, okay? But I don't want to like start that kind of drama. Spirit's funny, but you know, sometimes it's a little bit too much. King of Cups, Two of Cups in the reverse. Yeah. I do feel like this is someone who has a long-term friendship or a career that goes off the tracks. Maybe even some legal problems that happen for this person, stemming from a willingness to lie about what's going on. Or it's like the Barbra Streisand effect. Because you are freaking out and asking people to stop talking about something, you end up just like encouraging them to keep talking about it, you know? Hey Dave. Hello Alphonse, how are you doing? Did I say hello to Third Eye? Hello. Digital B-Day cake. That sounds delish. What flavor would you choose, Key Controller? I'm dying to know. I love funfetti because I'm a pillar of maturity. Really though, like what is like the most mature cake though? Red velvet? German chocolate? Just curious. That's funny. It's too bad you didn't catch me on a day where I'm wearing my Tennessee Titans shirt, actually. But I don't really involve any of that with the sports. Yeah, no. Sports ball is its own thing. Hello, Matt. How's it going? Ooh, Rachel, with like the clutch answer there, carrot cake would be the most mature cake. I think you're right about that. Yeah. Black Forest is a serious cake. All right, sorry guys. Four of Cups, the Moon in the reverse, and Strength in the reverse. Their secretive nature, they're giving in to some sort of temptation. It leads to they're having like some sort of fallout. Maybe they don't have their same deal at work. Maybe they don't have their relationship. Maybe their friend group is like, I don't know about that. But there's an impact because this person had, I feel like, been kind of judgy or had like categorically denied that they participate in anything like that. This is the Fairy Lenormand. Now, carrot cake is delicious. Rhubarb cake, though, probably my favorite. I know that's probably not a popular opinion. That's okay. I'll eat the whole cake myself. We have number 25, which is the ring. Yo. We have a double whip situation. Like a twice baked potato without the potato. I don't think we have somebody who is not fully satisfied within the context of their committed relationship. But this could also be about somebody who's making a partnership or a deal with somebody. This could literally be someone who's like, hey, can you go seduce my friend over there? Just saying. There's a couple of different iterations. But we definitely have somebody who is manipulating another person with that physical attraction element. I'm not going to tell a joke twice in one reading. I hope you forgive me. All you have to do is rewind like maybe 10 minutes. But it is a pretty epic joke, so, you know. As far as like the reading, we've got someone who is basically a bit judgy or a bit proud, and they're in some, I don't know, they have some level of power, or they're like the pillar of the community. They judge a lot. I do feel like that's coming through pretty heavy. But there's something about their preferences in terms of the bedroom that is exposed. And so it kind of makes them have to deal with that, right? With the judginess that they've had on others. There's some element here where people feel like what the King of Pentacles is into is not cool. Maybe it isn't. But there's people trying to figure out more, people trying to look into communications, trying to figure out what's been going on with this person or whether or not they are trouble. This is the Meme Cat Major Arcana. Hello, Curtis. How are you doing? Hello, Luke. What else do we have? The Moon. Secret. What they've been doing that they don't want other people to know. Does it look like that cat has been caught doing something? The world here is a reference to like social media or something going viral. It's going to be like broadcast. Like people are going to be talking about this everywhere. We have Empress in the reverse. This has nothing to do with a romantic relationship. It's just how this person's been, yeah, getting off. Apparently not in a smart way. That says the Fool. I realize it's backwards for you all. I'm sorry. I'm not sure why it does that. I don't really like that it does that, but I don't choose it for you, okay? All right. We're going to get just a few more from the untold messages of the heart, and then we will call it a day. Hello, Jacob. How are you doing? Thinking about you makes me emotional, and I want to open up to you about how I'm feeling. My life is falling apart, and I'm struggling. So there's someone here who's reaching out to this King of Pentacles. They want support, or they want to feel close to this person. They want to make sure that the King of Pentacles is doing well. And the King of Pentacles is like, no, I'm not. It's kind of awful, and I don't want to talk to anybody, so like leave me alone. They're pushing people away, right? Hello, Mr. Amorous. How are you doing? Well, thank you. Oh, yeah, that's excellent. No, I like that. I like when the words are combined like that. It's hilarious, actually. We've got I'm distracted right now, influences. So this is somebody who doesn't really want to talk about what's going on like that social or that romantic level. Someone's pouring out their heart, and this King of Pentacles is like, I've got like too much going on. I don't want to know about your emotions. I feel like they're being kind of heartless. We've got, we're so different. I'm trying to figure out how this is going to work. I think they're too like concerned with how everybody else views the connection, or views this lifestyle, this choice, whatever they're into. I don't know what it is, but there seem to be people who like to judge them about it. And even though they want to be playful, there's this nagging, like, resistance in their head. They feel like they can't be who they are supposed to be, which is a bummer, because I think authenticity is one of the, like, main building blocks of happiness in your life, right? Hey, Burger Cat. We're going to ask you to stop trying to do that. You're judging people. All right, you don't want to listen. Burger Cat, I would recommend that you read the actual Bible, which tells you to judge not, yet ye be judged, right? Embrace the people around you that have different beliefs. You don't have to be just like them, and they don't have to be just like you, but you might learn some really awesome stuff from people that believe differently than you do. Just saying. No need to have carbon copy, like, everybody the same. That would make life really boring, don't you think? How would we get, like, carrot cake and German chocolate cake and then, like, I don't know, key lime pie, unless we all had, like, diversity and variety, right? All right, I'm going to leave it there. Hello, David. Hello. Did I say hello to TG? I can't remember. I love you guys. Thank you for liking and subscribing. If you're able to hype the video, you just have to like swipe right when you see the live chat. If you have that feature, I would very much so appreciate you hyping it. All right, I'll see you on the next reading. Toodles.